No, do not attempt to adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla. Yeah, on a Thursday, rocking here in the App Stupid Studios. It's your boy Big Vern. Our last segment, we talked about the Buckeyes, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They destroy the Oregon Ducks. That was embarrassing. But hey, look, it makes a good rivalry. It makes a great rivalry. So, like I said, hats off to Ryan Day and company, and they pulled off something that was huge. Now, gonna stay with the Big Ten because it looks like the Big Ten was on display. And the night before, Penn State, they just beat the brakes off of Boise. I'm not one of those guys who can sit here and say, if Ashton Jeanty thought that he was the real Heisman winner of the people and blah, 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 he could know that's Xbox. This is reality. Penn State has a hell of a defense. They have a hell of a defense. They put the beating on SMU and they put the beating on Boise. They are fighting. I'm talking about if you're a defensive guy and defense is your calling card, the first quarter of this game you were in heaven because they were all over Ashton Jeanty. Did not matter if they pulled guards, the block, if they went ahead and stopped the A gap and you had guys actually bringing another guy off the edge. Didn't matter what Boise wanted to do. Penn State was having none of that. A beating on all fronts. They lost this game every which way you can lose a football game. We'll get into that when we come back from a quick 20 from a rap album we're promoting this month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. It's your boy Big Vern promoting a new rap album this month. Redman, Muddy Waters 2. Get it in stores where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is What's Hot, La 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 with Redman and Method Man, Don't You Miss, Ignorant, A, Hood Star with Kid Capri, Faith Evans, Pop the Trunk, Ghetto Motivation, I love that record, Kush with Snoop Dogg, Goofy, 1 O'Clock, and many more. Redman, Muddy Waters 2, in stores now. Shout out to Redman, Funk Dr. Spock. You know, we rock with it. So when we go back and we look at this game, Boise lost to a team that only threw for 171 yards. I don't care who you are. If you cannot stop the run in basic football, you can come up with the air raid system, the wide, not anything you want to invent. If you cannot stop the run, this is going to happen to you. You're going to be one-dimensional. Penn State hung 216 yards of rushing on Boise. And that front four was just bullying Boise, moving them anywhere they wanted to go. Where they had to open up holes and gaps in between the running spaces. It was just like, what? And let's be real. Drew Aller, is that what they call him? Because I've been calling him Drew Aller. But Drew Aller has been struggling. He didn't play well at Penn. He didn't play well against SMU. He didn't really play well against them. But he came up big when he had to. Like I said, his skill set is somewhere around 20 to 25 throws max. Franklin knows this. That's why he kept him at that 25 throws max. And you're going to get productivity out of him. You got 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that's all you're asking him to do. In the words of Cam Newton, he's an effective game manager. But when you look at Kaytron Allen had 17 touches for 134 yards. He almost averaged 8 yards every time he touched the rock. And I know people are looking for Ashton Jeanty to have that same kind of output and that production. It just was not there. It just was not there. I mean, hell, you had Steven Singleton. Singleton almost rushed for 100 yards himself. He had 12 touches at the Rock for 87 yards and a score. He almost hung 100 yards on Boise's defense. Again, when I tell you that front four, they got bullied, that's what happened. That's what happened. They got bullied. And if you want to say, oh, well, if you're running the ball like that, Boise won the time of possession. Boise won the time of possession at 34 minutes and 4 seconds. And they still got decimated. They got decimated. This game was 17-7 at the half. Boise did absolutely nothing in that first quarter. They did absolutely nothing in that first quarter. In that second quarter, they scored, and Penn State got the field goal. Again, I'm not going to hold you. That's just pretty much how this game went, that they just had no answers for it. Tyler Warren is a beast, and we told you when he was going to win the Ben Yerrick Award. We had our award winners. We did that. Go check our show, our segment. We're not Johnny Come Latelys. We tell everybody what it's going to be. And shocker, we end up being right. That's why we care about being right. We don't do gossip. We don't do narratives. We don't create stories. We just give you what we see in real time and what everybody else is lined up against, and we give you our opinion. But this was bad. This was bad for Boise. My goodness. From Tyler Warren getting that 11-yard pass. And Penn State has a lot of packages dialed up for tight ends. So at the next level, and this is what I'm telling you, this year's NFL draft is going to be one of the best NFL drafts that has been around in a long time. You have experienced quarterbacks going into this draft who've played in different schools and different systems. You have tight ends, durable tight ends who have finished. They may not have the big critical acclaim, and have been in a blue blood school, but they have just as much in substance. They have just as much in substance, and this is going to be one of those NFL drafts you look back on and be like, sheesh. Even the guys I didn't know about, they're still around. They're still doing good. This is that kind of NFL draft, but I digress. Omar Evans, 38 yards. He got that pass from Drew Alar. Now that's 14-0. That's all first quarter. Tyler Crow, he's got an 8-yard run. He finally puts Boise on the board at 14-7. Penn State, they can't answer the call. Drew takes the guys downfield. You get a 40-yard field goal from Ryan Baker. Again, 17-7. That was in the second quarter to put that thing in halftime. Coming into the third, you have Matt Lauder. He's got a 50-yard pass to Maddox Madsen. Now this thing is 17-14. And people think that, oh, Boise's got a shot. No. Drew Alar hits Tyler Warren for a 13-yard pass. Now this thing is 24-14. Still in it. Still going to fight to the end. They've got to keep on trying to get Ashton Jeanty the ball. None of that was relevant at all to James Franklin and the bunch. Because Nicholas Singleton had a 58-yard run that broke the back of the Boise faithful and made this thing 31-14. Now, what's interesting is that when Singleton made that run, that was at 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. Nothing else happened on that Boise side of the ball. They were spent. They were beat up, and they were out-toughed. And that's just what you have to understand. Penn State has a hell of a defense. And don't judge Ashton Jeanty by what you saw in that game. because his body of work is a totality, what he's done all season long. Go look at the Oregon game. Boise almost beat Oregon. They gave, outside of Ohio State, Boise gave Oregon the biggest scare. And that was early in the season. But like I said, don't judge him on this game. I think that, going forward in the pros, he's going to be a great talent. But to the Nittany Lion faithful, Jesus. How do you feel about that? I know you're waiting on the winner of Georgia Notre Dame. Well, how do you like your chances? This is Big Vern. I'll be back.